This program is proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gazelle International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of Sports Scene. I am Jaylee, and I'm joined by none other than Denzel. How's it going, Denzel?
Not too bad, not too good, just in the middle. But of course, welcome back to Sports Scene viewers. I know around this time, most are probably having dinner, but so is Kaikai and Tanya. Don't worry, we'll get through this together. As we take you through an action-filled show tonight, Miss Jaylee, tell them.
That's right. We have an amazing show for you tonight, so stay glued to those seats. On tonight's show, we speak to World Kickboxing Champion Stanley the Headhunter Nandex and the Kickboxing Federation's preparations for the National Championships. We also speak to PNG sprint sensation Leroy Kamau and his recent switch from athletics to rugby league. We find out about para-athlete Donna Longboat's journey so far, and we talk about PNG boxing. But before we get started, Denzel, what happened over the weekend?
Thank you, Miss Jilly. Now, over the weekend, let's start off with the NRL Round 1 kicking off in Las Vegas, where we saw the poor Broncos and Rabbitohs bleeding out on US soil. And at the same time, the Sea Eagles and Roosters registered their first wins for the season. Now, also, Hunters named their final 30-man squad on Saturday to take part in this season's Host Plus Cup. Now moving on to AFL, 7 players under 16 female athletes, now they travel to Gold Coast to take part in the South Pacific Academy Camp. In more local sports, Jiwaka's Kulaka West claimed the Ipatas Cup on Sunday at the Lay Rugby League Oval. Now that concludes what we have for the weekend recaps. Now let's head straight into our weekend scorelines. As we observe, the Sea Eagles beating the Rabbitohs 36 points to 24 at Las Vegas, followed by Roosters beating the Broncos 20 points to 10. Now moving on to Super Rugby Pacific, their Week 2 results, the Blues beat the Highlanders 37 points to 29, the Rebels 48 points defeating the Force 34, Moana 39 points, a tight game against Fiji Drua. Now, the Waratahs beat the Crusaders 37 points to 24. The Chiefs, big margin, 46 points against the Brumbies, 12 points. And Hurricanes beat the Reds 38 points to 33. And that concludes our weekend scorelines. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break, where we'll talk kickboxing with none other than headhunter himself, Stanley Nandex. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now, retired champion kickboxer and former world champion Stanley Nandex hosted the Southern Regional Kickboxing Championships over the weekend in Port Moresby. This is the first of his 4-part selection for the National Kickboxing Championships to come this July. Let's check it out.
Thank you, Mr. Nandex, for joining me. Could you just tell me about the Southern Regional Kickboxing Championships over the weekend?
Yes, the actual event was very successful. It was a one-day event, and we had 80 competitors, including 8 female fighters on the card as well. So it was very successful.
So is this a lead up to the national championships, so what exactly is it for?
Yeah, this initiative with regional championships challenges are just to have a good national championship selection. Southern region championships is over. We'll be moving up to Highlands region, which is going to be next month, and then over to Ley for the Mamase and then the New Guinea Islands. So each of the regions have to come up with their own top fighters to challenge in the national championships. And the national championships, we will be selecting a national team for the world championships in Spain in November this year as well.
So do you have dates for the other regions and the national championships as well?
Yes, we were supposed to have our first second Highlands Regional Championships, which was supposed to be end of this month, but due to the situation up there in Wabek, we have moved the event to Chimbu. So a bit of a slight change now due to those changes. But I'm hoping that by April will be the Highlands, May will be Momase and New Guinea Island region. So by July, we're looking at the national championships.
So tell me about the World Championships in November.
The World Championships will be attended by most all over the world. I think 120 countries, and I think PNG Kickboxing Federation has been one of those very active members. And because of the high level of competitions, our aim is to really select the good fighters. The best of the best need to represent the country. This event actually started last year. We're continuing this year so that the preparation has to be very tough, and the national selectors has to be also the best to represent the country. So in total, we're looking at about 30 fighters, including female, representing different weight classes from 46 kilogram, which is bantamweight, to cruiserweight, which is about 87 kilograms. So in between, every fighters will be taking part in each of those weight categories. In terms of sponsorship, yeah, this year for the Southern Regional Championships, we had a good handful of sponsors came. IBS University has been part of our sponsor for a very long time in terms of our development, and they came on board to support this event. And also new sponsor just came on board, the Ultimate Security Services. They saw the importance of working alongside with youths and empowering them, and I think with the nature of the business, it was important to have that partnership. And we're very thankful to them. And Trophy House been part of providing all the medals and trophies all around the country. And this time around, they have they come on board also to become part of our sponsors. And a new company from Gobi Field Engineering also put their hands up to say they want to be also part of the sponsors. So 4 sponsors came on board these championships. I think each of those sponsors will be continuing working with us along the way in terms of part of our development. It's a journey towards a World Championship, so we are very grateful to have our sponsors who have already raised their hands to come on board with us in this journey.
Is there anyone else you'd like to make mention of?
Yeah, we are also working very closely with the Minister's office at the moment. We have an appointment next week just to talk to him about our preparations are important. Most of our sports, other sports, we seem to be giving less kind of preparations and attention, and that's why our international performance are not really doing good. Our aim is to really look at preparing this tournament very well in terms of camping out the fighters as well, and also the selection process has to be completed. National championship selection has to be done, and hopefully, let's say 4 to 5 months, I want to really keep them in the camp so that discipline must be there, and train them intensively and really focus in terms of preparations for the representative of the country. So we really want Minister to come on board to really look at this importance about how we're trying to raise these kids and then bring them to the top. So yeah, we just want to emphasize more of that.
What a champion. He's a role model to many, especially because of his humble beginnings, growing up in the village and then going on to reaching the pinnacle of his sport. Now on to athletics. Papua New Guinea sprint sensation Leroy Kamau has made the announcement he will be switching codes from athletics to rugby league. This is after his recent signing under ProEd Sports Management. Let's take a look at that now. Thank you for joining me, Leroy. Now, could you tell me about your recent signing with ProEd Sports Management?
The signing with the management was a step into rugby league career. The management usually help people that are interested in joining NRL and all that. So they asked me in 2020 when I was in athletics if I was interested in rugby league, because they know that I joined the Espiantas training squad in 2019. So like when I was out in the spotlight of athletics, in 2020, they decided to give me a pulse, like asking me if I could like sign with them. So and I was into athletics at that time, so I rejected it. But then this year, some things that had happened, so I decided to like reply back to the email. So yep, I got signed.
So you used to play rugby league and then you switched to athletics and now you're back to rugby league. Tell me about that.
Actually, I started off with athletics in 2016. I was national champion, like the junior under 20 champion. But then when my parents moved to Alatau, they had no athletics there, so I decided to play rugby to keep fit. So when I switched to rugby, at the end of 2019, I ended up in the under-20 squad. So that's when I started playing rugby.
Just one last question. What's the biggest lesson you've learned throughout this whole journey?
By far, the most biggest lesson I've learned is you never ever stop trying, and you never ever give up, because if the other door closes, there's always the other door. So never give up and never ever stop trying is the biggest lesson I've learned so far.
Okay, well, Thank you very much for your time, and I wish you all the best with your new signing.
Thank you very much.
That was Leroy Kamau for you. Now don't go anywhere. After the break, we speak to para-athlete champion Donna Longboat. Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now let's talk about para-athletes. They are athletes who practice sports with a disability. We caught up with a very special lady, Donna Longboat, where she shared with us her story of her journey being a rugby player to now a para-athlete. Donna Longboat is a former rugby league player and now para-athlete sprinter.
Hi, my name is Donna Longboat. I'm a para-athlete. I represent PNG in athletics and badminton. I'm from East New Britain province and I'm 25 years old.
Donna began playing sports as a little girl in her home province of East New Britain. She started with rugby league as she was greatly influenced by her older brothers, who are all involved with the code and have represented PNG at the international level.
I started playing sports since I was a kid. I grew up with a lot of brothers, so they play rugby mostly. So that's, I think the earliest would be 6, 7 years old. There's a lot of people who inspire me, their stories and all that, and mostly, like I said earlier, like I grew up in a rugby league family, and I usually see my brothers like they rep the country, and I was like, oh, maybe one day, I want to be like that. But I wanted to rep the country doing rugby.
She represented East New Britain in the NGI Championships while a student, playing different sports, including athletics and rugby league. It was not until 2017 where she sustained a serious injury and she was told she would never play rugby again. This took a toll on Donna's mental health and left her feeling devastated. She battled with this until her dad found out about what it meant to be a para-athlete and educated her. Since learning about it and eventually joining, it has become a colorful journey for Donna. The 25-year-old says most of her success is because of her dad, who is truly her biggest supporter. She is the daughter of top caller and media personality Terry Longboat. Terry has been in the sports industry for decades, and there is no doubt Donna has been significantly influenced by him.
I would like to thank most especially my dad for his support throughout since my incident back home and coming here. He has always been my #1 supporter. And also, I would like to thank all my families, my friends, and not forgetting my coaches who helped me through this journey and made me, become who I am today. And all the sponsors, management, and everyone that I cannot name. There's a lot of them, and I just want to say thank you for all the support.
Her professional career as a para-athlete began in 2022. She recalls this experience as frightening, but also very exciting. She also says this whole journey has been challenging, especially more recently.
Last year, qualifying for the World Championship in Paris, I think that was a good experience for me, but unfortunately I was battling injury at the time, so I didn't compete to my best, but yeah, I'm recovering, and I hope that I'll go back there and give it my 100% next time.
Since her involvement as a para-athlete, Donna has successfully witnessed and achieved the following. Despite her massive success, Longboot says she does deal with her own personal challenges.
I do sports, and I also do my studies, and just last year I recently graduated with my diploma in business management. So maybe right now I'm hoping to either further that or work or just concentrate on my recovery first.
Miss Donna's advice to younger athletes?
The biggest advice, for us Papua New Guineans, I would really encourage everyone to go to school. Like overseas, we see that they pay the athletes better, but here you have to get a good education and also balance it out. Time management is very important because these days it's social media and all that stuff, and you have to have a strong mindset to complete everything and balance it out, so you have time for everything.
Now that was one of our champion para-athletes, Donna Longboot. Now proceeding with more action here, last week Friday we were at the John Guy's Indoor Complex for a boxing tournament where we also caught up with Alan Oaike just before he traveled to Sydney to defend his title. Let's check it out.
The code of boxing holds a special place in Papua New Guinea's culture, igniting a spirit of passion in the ring with every punch thrown. Last Friday at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Complex, we observed as about 64 boxers from all across the country took part in a junior tournament. Led by PNG Boxing Union President Dr. Gideon Kendino alongside Tournament Director Mr. Kazu Temu, this tournament was a success as 20 young boxers were selected to go into full-time training under the Novice Development Program. Such events and programs by the PNG BU have paved the way for many talents to emerge from Papua New Guinea, allowing them to showcase their skills and compete internationally. One of these locally bred athletes, currently a professional boxer, prepares to defend his title at the King of the Ring tournament in Sydney, New South Wales.
Name blomi Alan Senaim Waike Miblo Central Kairuku Mekeo Miblo Mekeo plus name blomi Teva it's blomi 28 years now. Me preparing for King of the Ring this year 2024. Last year King of the Ring me go me winning title, so now this year King of the Ring and by me go defend the title.
With a flare of confidence, Alan says that he's fully prepared to defend his title in the event down south.
Now King of the Ring me go, me trust him yet, he training strong, so me can make him.
Alan is one of the many talented boxers produced by these development programs by the PNG Boxing Union. With a successful tournament conclusion recruiting young boxers, the future looks bright for boxing in Papua New Guinea.
Good to see our athletes born and bred coming out from these type of programs as they travel out internationally to showcase their skills. Now, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll find out what's happening this weekend.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Now let's find out what's happening this weekend.
All right, we'll head straight into the continuation of the NRL Round 1. First of all, the Knights go up against the Raiders tonight. On Friday, the Warriors go up against the Sharks, followed by the Storms going up against the Panthers. On Saturday, the Eels go up against the Bulldogs, followed by the Titans up against the Dragons. And on Sunday, we close off with the Dolphins going up against the Cowboys. That concludes the NRL matches. Now on Friday, Super Rugby Pacific Week 3, Moana Pacifica go up against the Rebels, followed by Waratahs, who go up against the Highlanders. And on Saturday, Fiji and Drua face the Crusaders, the Brumbies go up against Force, Hurricanes versus the Blues, and Reds close up going up against the Chiefs. And that concludes our weekend previews. Also take note, Miss Jaylee, this weekend on Saturday, the Pom Women's Grand Final. It's going to be really good to watch this weekend.
Who's playing?
All right, now for the Big Graders. The Big Graders will have Bears going up against Cebu. And also the A Graders, again, you will be seeing Bears going up against the Saints again.
Should be a good match.
Should be a really good match to watch.
And good on the Bears.
Yes, definitely.
Now there you have it, guys. That's what's happening. It's almost time to say goodnight, but before we do, if you have a story you'd like us to cover, please give us a call on 312-9229, or you can find us on Facebook at Sports Scene, or you can also email us. Other than that, you can visit us at Level 2 Garden City, Boroko, here in Port Moresby.
Well, there you have it, folks. That's a wrap on what we have for you this week. And again, it's always a pleasure to have you with us on every Thursday. And remember to wash your own plates after dinner, okay? You at the back. Yeah, you. I can see you. Good night, straight.
Thank you guys for tonight. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, right here on your number one to watch.
Good night.
This program was proudly brought to you by PNG Motors, Gazelle International Hotel, and Telecom Limited.